Hi, and welcome to the flatting and shadowing version of this comic strip. Hi, my name is Luis Escobar. I'm a storyboard artist on the Simpsons television show. I've been working on the show for over 25 years now, and I'm here to empower you. So this time around, I kind of experiment a little bit more. This is a very simple comic strip, so the flattening process was a little faster, but still, there was a big background that I needed to do, and it did have a little bit of complexity, especially when it came to putting in the shadows and the lights. And the experimentation that I did this time around is that when I did the selection process last time, I used a neutral gray for everything, for all the flatting. This time around, I used random colors, just like I just grabbed a color and I just used that. And the reason why I did that was so that I can tell the difference between the two colors, where they met, and how much white space I had, etc., etc. So I just want, and I found that it helped a lot. So you will see that, and it's going to look extremely strange when I do the flatting. So without any further ado, let me show you what I did. All right, so as I said before, I started using random colors to do these flatting. So one of the other things that I did different was to start with the paint bucket tool. Now the paint bucket tool had to have just the right settings, because what ended up happening was that the settings for the paint bucket, if they're not set correctly, they don't quite fill in as much as I want. I wanted to speed up the process as much as possible. So here in the face and the suit, I didn't get and even this shirt, I didn't get the paint bucket settings correctly. It wasn't until I believe I started doing the hair that I realized that I needed to change the settings. And then once that happened, the whole process went a lot faster. So the way that I have the paint bucket tool set is to go a little bit further than the line. So you can actually see it's just enough further outside of the line so that it covers up underneath the line. I reduced the opacity on the line so I could see how far the actual flat goes, and then I increased the opacity on the line so that it just covers all that stuff up. I wanted the spacing I wanted no spacing between the exterior, the flatting shapes. I wanted all of that to be working. Here, I actually ended up having to fix some of the drawing here. I needed tears, and I wasn't sure what type of tears, so you saw me do a couple variations, and I just chose this as one of them. But again, same thing, using the paint bucket tool to do most of the work, and then just finessing it by going in there with, what is it, the fill-in mono pen. And what the mono pen does is it doesn't make any blurry lines. It's actually extremely pixelated line work. What's the word? And no anti-aliasing. So it's just straight up hard edges. I don't, like I said, I don't want, and you can see it in here that they're extremely hard edges, and I'm just finessing through them. See, here's a huge mistake. I accidentally put the yellow in the background layer, and I had to take out the yellow from the background and put it into the actual flatting shape. It was such a pain when I discovered that, but at least I got it fixed with minimal damage to the line work in the background. This is, like I said, this is probably the most tedious process of doing any kind of coloring at all, is creating a flat for everything. Doing the flat here for the background is extremely tedious as well, especially because my backgrounds are extremely rough. So I have to work around a lot of the really rough pencils. And now I'm adding lighting. So now I know the lighting is coming from the windows. I did add lighting here in other areas too. So at this point, now that I've got everything flat, now I start adding the shadows. based on the lighting that I already created. So I know that light is going to be coming from the top left. Do you see? You can see the lighting is coming from the top left, and there's a little bit of bounce light coming from the top right. And so the top left lighting is going to be white. The top right, the top right lighting is going to be yellow, because it's going to be lights from the ceiling, and then there's lights from a window on the and so there's two different colors of light. And so now that at least once I know the direction of the light, I know exactly where to put the shadows based on the direction of the light. And I do this for the character, and in the case of this final panel, I do it for the background as well. And the tricky part is that with the backgrounds, I tend not to put line work. I erase the line work, the pencil line work. So I try to make it so that the light actually implies the line work. However, there is a few lines in the background because of occlusion. Occlusion is when light doesn't get into certain spots at all. And when light doesn't get into certain spots at all, then it actually creates natural lines when two parts meet. So I didn't feel so bad adding a little bit of lines. And that's it. That's all the shadowing and the flatting. And it's time to color this sucker. So I hope this has been helpful, and I will see you next time. All right, bye.